Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B team, beatdowns, and knockouts, double headers, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple double. Make that double front flip. This is what we do.
Hold up, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector coming at you live. No BS, no holds barred sports talk show is back on once again for the madness, the craziness, and all of the crazy stuff that I know y'all saw this past Sunday. I've been trying to tell y'all for the longest. Anyway, so Mr. Unregulated and myself is back. Mr. Unregulated, what's good, baby?
I'm upset.
I know you upset. I've been waiting for this because I've been waiting. You know what's funny? I was at home and Miss Shantae was there, and I was foaming at the mouth. I was like, as soon as the Super Bowl is over, I can't wait to see you. I'm about to chew you a new one today. I have been waiting to see you all week long. But we're gonna get back to that later on. So that number to call is gonna be 301-429-9247. That's gonna be the number to call. I want you guys to go ahead and give us a call in because I know you guys want to talk some smack, especially with all the stuff I know I'm gonna say today. So let's jump into it. Look at this. Best title town. Patriots win for the 6th time. It's Brady the GOAT. All these guys retiring, and then we're gonna talk about the NFL. Is it the NFL draft? So we definitely gonna talk about that because 75 days up until then, so we got a couple months. So let's jump into it, Mr. Unregulated.
Something missing.
What's missing?
The NBA.
The NBA. We'll talk about the NBA.
Trades.
We'll talk about the trades later.
Okay.
We're
gonna have to talk about my boy Jordan McRae.
Yeah.
Putting numbers up, man.
I'm sure he is. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. Super Bowl. Boston. Look at this. Is LA, Boston, all these different title towns. I always ask myself the question, who is really the best title town? Really the best title town, and it's like really kind of hard because it's like Boston just seems like they just find a way to keep winning. Like if it wasn't the Red Sox, it was the Celtics, it was the Bruins, it's been the Patriots. Since 2001, it's like Boston's been winning a championship every single year in a different sport. Since 2001.
So that makes them the best title town.
I mean, of this era, right now, since 2000, yeah.
Since 2000, why can't we go a little bit further back?
How much further back?
Let's go as far back as to your date of birth.
1988. Well,
is Boston still the title town?
Well,
absolutely not.
Not LA?
Absolutely. Well, I can make an argument for LA.
How?
When we talk about the LA Lakers,
okay,
we're talking about the LA Dodgers. We're talking about the.
But we were talking about since 2000. But see, you want to.
But you bit my bait and you went all the way back to 88. That's all I wanted you to do is to bite the bait.
All right, let's go back to 88.
So then we're gonna argue. Then we're gonna argue this.
Okay.
Anaheim Angels, the LA Sparks, the LA Kings, the Los Angeles Rams, USC. Who else we got in LA? The Clippers, the LA Galaxy. I mean, how
can the Clippers win a title?
No, they never won a title.
I was about to say.
But I mean, when you talk about, okay, let's eliminate the Clippers because they don't have a title. But you talk about
you can't eliminate the Clippers because they part of LA. No, you can't. Don't do that.
That just adds more to it,
right?
That the Clippers have had some good teams.
Okay.
I mean, they have had some bad teams as well, but they've had some good teams too. They've been competitive.
Okay.
For many years, the Clippers will miss the playoffs out on the West Coast.
Okay.
But if you put their record in the East, they probably would have been a fourth or fifth seed. So I mean, they.
Well, you put any team in the East, I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna make the playoffs. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But look, here's the thing. I look at all these different title towns. I look at Boston, I look at LA, I look at New York, and I look at Chicago. Okay, those are to me all title towns. The problem is when I look at Chicago, as much as I love Chicago, the problem is Chicago hasn't won much recently. The Blackhawks, obviously, they beat my Bruins a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And that was only because the Bruins were stupid enough to actually let them back in, but they let the Blackhawks win. And as far as the Cubs, well, I mean, they had to break that curse. I mean, that was a long time coming. It was a very, very long time, and so they deserve to win that. But then as far as that, the Bears, they haven't done nothing since 1985.
But they have done something.
What have the Bears done? Because the Bears only made the playoffs this year and definitely lost.
Yeah, but I mean they have done something in the past. I mean they
have done something in the past. But you said since 1988. Last time the Bears won was 1985. I definitely wasn't born then. So
you're correct, but still you can't take away from the Super Bowl shuffle. That Super Bowl shuffle lasts from 1985 all the way to 1990 before people stopped talking about it.
Yeah,
and people still to this day still talk about that team.
Oh, they're always going to talk about that 85 Bears team.
The greatest defense ever.
Yeah, it is the greatest defense ever. No question to me. I will never. And the funny thing is, I was just telling one of our engineers, Emmanuel. I was just telling him about that, and I was saying how when I looked at the 85 Bears, and I actually watched that Super Bowl because on NFL Network they replay old Super Bowls, and I actually watched that Super Bowl literally from beginning to end. I was like, yeah, there was no way the Patriots gonna beat that team. There was no way. From the very start of the game, it was sack after sack after sack, hit after hit after hit. They would get. I mean, Steve Grogan was getting hit early and often. There was no way they were gonna beat. They was gonna beat that team. No way. So that's why I'll give it to Chicago for that. But then after that, it was the Chicago Bulls. Mm-hmm. The White Sox won a couple here and there. I'll give them that. But it's just that the Cubs, well, they were dead in the water until recently.
Now let me ask you a question. What makes you the best title town? Is it just the number of titles that you have, or is it the number of titles that you have split amongst the overall professional teams in the area, or is it the fact that you won titles in that town and you celebrate it in a way that it's like no other? Because if that's the case, then I mean Baltimore was lit.
I would say overall titles won by professional teams.
So it has nothing to do with the way that the way the organizations plan the parades, the parties.
No, it's about the rings. It's about the championships those teams are winning. And I mean, when you look at Boston, Boston's got what? Is it got 17 for the Celtics? Mm-hmm. The Patriots got 6. The Red Sox, I believe they now have 8. I believe they have 8. The Bruins got like either 7 or 8. I couldn't remember correctly. So those 4 teams, they've clearly been pretty dominant. Now in LA, obviously, the Lakers are the Lakers. I mean, they got 16, but they've went to the. But one thing I will give to the Lakers, out of any basketball team that I've ever seen, they've been to the finals the most times out of any franchise when they went 31 times. A total of 31 times in the NBA finals. That to me is utterly ridiculous. That means that you had 31 chances to win rings. Now let's just say they won every single time. They would have had the most rings out of any NBA franchise. They win 31 times. That's crazy to me. So I that's why it's like, you know what? As much as I love my Celtics, because the Celtics only went 21 times. They went 21 times, won 17, lost 4. So that's why when you look at that, I have to say, if you compare it to basketball, well, obviously Celtics are going to win that every time, just because they got one more ring than they do, and their efficiency in the NBA Finals, as a percentage, is a lot higher than it is the LA Lakers. The Red Sox, on the other hand, there's only one team that we ain't gonna never be able to compare to, and that's the darn Yankees, because the Yankees got like 27 rings. It's just ridiculous, because the New York Yankees just kill everybody.
But you know what? I feel bad for Boston. I mean, Boston has had their run, but it's coming to an end quickly. I mean, with Brady getting older, and how many more years can you actually count the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl. They probably shouldn't have been there this year. But I'll give them one more year, and then the Celtics, the poor Celtics. I feel bad for the Celtics because all of the movement and the maneuvering that they did to get where they at to get the players that they have is all for nothing now.
You know, you're the very same person who sat in that chair and said that Brady wasn't going to win the Super Bowl. Brady was going to get demolished by the Rams, and then lo and behold, he still won the Super Bowl. What happened?
You know what? Let's clear this up right now.
Okay.
Brady did not win the Super Bowl.
How didn't he win the Super Bowl?
That coaching staff won that Super Bowl.
That coaching staff won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if I
So Julian Edelman was just throwing the ball to himself. Mind you, he was Super Bowl MVP. I want you to think about that.
He was wide open most of the times.
Why was he wide open most of the time?
Because it was the play and the scheme it was the scheme and the play that was called.
Oh my gosh!
Now, when you look back at that, how many interceptions did Tom Brady throw?
He only threw one.
No, I think he threw two.
No,
and
he
it would have
threw
been
one.
he would have thrown three.
No, he threw one. That's on the stat sheet. He only threw one pick in the entire Super Bowl.
We're gonna have to look at our resources.
I don't need to look at my resources. I remember it was there. 262 yards and one interception.
Maybe it was two dropped interceptions two dropped passes.
There
that should
two
have
dropped interceptions, yes.
But
he only threw one.
But he didn't
on the stat sheet.
He didn't look good, you know. So Tom Brady didn't win that game. The running game won for them, as well as the coaching scheme. I mean, I can't give Tom Brady this one. I just can't. We did
Still
not
got 6 though.
Yeah, I mean, he may be one of the greatest all time, but this past Super Bowl, I can't say that he looked like the old Tom Brady that we know, just dominating the games, picking defenses apart. It just wasn't. It wasn't that.
How didn't he pick them apart when it was him and Gronk and Edelman who got Sonny Michel down there in order for him to run the ball down there? You do know that, right?
Again, coaching.
That's not coaching. That's straight up Brady. You can't say that. Where are you getting this from?
Is Brady calling his own plays, or are the plays being called?
Yes, he's calling his own plays because he's got it on his arm. He is one of the only quarterbacks in the league outside of Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers who calls his own plays. No. In fact, they even had them mic'd up. Let me finish. They even had him mic'd up with Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick was about to go for it on 4th and 1. He said to Belichick, no, let's just kick the field goal because he was going to tell Brady, go for the quarterback sneak, and what if the Rams would have stuffed us? The Rams probably would have went down and got the touchdown, and that'd have been it.
What that got to do with calling plays?
He called the play. That's what I'm saying.
He called the field goal play. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Because if Belichick not listened to Brady...
Are you sitting here telling me that Brady called the play, or are you saying that Brady recommended or suggested that we do something? Brady didn't call no play.
Yeah, he did. Because Belichick was there about to tell him, go for it on 4th and 1. And he was like, no, let's kick the field goal, and that be the end of that. And then Belichick looked at him like, I don't agree with this.
You know what? I think we should move on because you know what? You're just as stubborn as I am, and we're going to go on and on fighting each other over words.
No, there is no going on and on and on.
Because you're not going to sit here and tell me Brady called that play. So Brady said, on 3 or whatever the count was on, Brady said, "Okay, you kick it. You're gonna kick this field goal straight down the middle. You're gonna kick it towards the left. I mean, the line is blocking which way. I mean,
at the end of the day,
Brady suggested that we kick the field goal.
Brady got 6 rings. That's all I need to know. And on top of that, he played a decent game. It wasn't the best game, but it was decent because Jared Goff. I don't know where was Jared Goff. You was so high on him all year. Where was he at?
I wasn't like Jared Goff. That sound like the golf course somewhere. I wasn't high. Who is that?
I'm just saying because you was saying that Jared Goff was gonna toss all over New England. What happened?
I don't recall saying that. I've never invested in Jared Goff, ever.
You know what? You lucky.
Ever.
You lucky we can't replay those clips right now.
I mean, I'll give him his props. I mean, he will have some good games and some good throws, but I'm not putting my money on Goff. No, absolutely not. In fact, what I said is that his inexperience may hurt the Rams. I didn't expect him to get past the Saints.
I didn't think he was. Well, we're not going to talk about the Saints. We're going to leave the Saints alone.
Those are the Super Bowl champions.
We going to leave the Saints alone.
That's the Super Bowl champs right there. They need to give them rings.
Who?
The Saints.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, because there's no way New England beats the Saints. No way.
Now I know you're funny. Now I know you funny. You are funny.
Brady against Breeze.
First off, You do realize that that Breeze only beaten Brady once in his entire career, and that only is because, and that was the year they went to the Super Bowl. That was the only time he beat Brady, and that was when Brady actually had a bad year because I believe, if I recall correctly, the Patriots was hurt that year. Gronk was out. Welker was hurt, and I believe Edelman was just coming off the bench. Oh no, don't get it twisted. The Saints was not going to beat the Patriots on their best day.
We're talking about a Saints team that has firepower. We ain't talking about a Saints team with just on the back.
They got one receiver. They got one guy, Michael Thomas. That was it. You take Michael Thomas out the game, and this is what Belichick does best. He will take away your best option. That's what happened in the Super Bowl.
They got one receiver?
One receiver. Who else they got? And please don't tell me Ted Ginn, because Ted Ginn dropped more passes than he dropped panties.
How many receptions does Thomas have?
How many receptions? I said he's the only receiver.
No, he's not.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You got Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara comes out of the backfield.
All I know is this: Michael Thomas led the team in receptions. Not only that, he was also top 5 with over 100 catches. So all I need to know is they really only got one guy that he throws to.
So Alvin Kamara is not a person he throws the ball to.
I'm not saying he doesn't throw the ball to him, but he didn't throw it to him that much this season. Because last season he did.
He's a receiver.
Alvin Kamara is a running back.
He's a receiver.
He's a running back.
So what would you consider Chris Thomas from the Redskins?
What?
Chris Thomas.
You talking about Thompson?
Thompson, yeah, from the Redskins. What is he?
He's still a running back at the end of the day.
But he's a receiver, though, right? They count on him to catch the ball out of the backfield.
He catches the ball out of the backfield, but he's not a receiver.
They line him up in wideouts and occasionally line him up as a wideout.
There's only one running back in this league that I honestly think is more of a receiver than he is a running back, and that's Le'Veon Bell.
What? Over Kamara?
Yes! But Le'Veon Bell didn't play this year, so we can't say that. But let's talk about last year when Le'Veon Bell was playing. You saw what happened when Le'Veon Bell was not on the field. Point is a case in point. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know.
Back to this topic.
I don't know what the point was that was made on that one right there.
You making it seem like Alvin Kamara is like the best receiver that the Saints have. I'm like, no, the best receiver they got is Michael Thomas.
I'm saying,
but if you take away Michael Thomas, how good is that offense? Clearly not that great.
But you don't take away Michael Thomas because he's there. But you add Kamara to the mix.
Yeah, you can.
Which gives
Breeze
Breeze firepower. I mean, tight end, running back, coming out of the backfield, catching running back. Man, this game, the Saints would have beaten the Patriots.
No, they won that.
Hands down.
No, they won that.
Did you see how many points the Patriots really? They scored 13 points.
Okay.
3 points the whole first half.
And we held the Rams to 3. So what's your point?
Do you think that
we held the Rams to 3?
The New Orleans Saints were not going to score 2 touchdowns? 2 touchdowns and at least 2 touchdowns. The Super Bowl score 13 Patriots, 14 Rams.
No.
Those are your Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Saints. Those are your Super Bowl champions.
No.
They were going to at least score 2 touchdowns.
No, they wasn't.
At least.
No, they weren't. Not on that defense. Not what I saw in that Super Bowl. They was not.
We can argue this all day. I'm telling you now. If not for that missed call, that bad call, you have a different Super Bowl champ.
Okay, well, here's the problem with what you're saying. You want to know why I know the Saints wouldn't have won? Because the 2 best receivers in the league this season play for the Rams. Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks. They were also the fastest receivers on the field outside of Tyreek Hill. Those are the 3 fastest guys in the league. 2 of them played for the same team, and neither one of them was nowhere to be found in the Super Bowl. And then on top of that, and then let's talk about the running back. Did you forget about Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson?
Todd Gurley better even play.
So you're saying that Alvin Kamara is better than Todd Gurley?
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, you are smoking.
Absolutely.
I knew you're
absolutely is more talented. Yeah. Absolutely.
Ladies, you are smoking.
And I say this for 2 reasons.
How?
1, because I believe just by watching the games that they play that Kamara is more talented. 2, because
Kamara is more talented. So you're saying that Alvin Kamara is top 3 in this era?
I'm saying that if you're building a team and you had to choose one or the other, you take Kamara because he can run and he can catch out of the backfield.
You're saying that he's better than Todd Gurley. That's what you're saying. So you're saying that he's the top 3 running back in this era.
I'm saying that he's better than Todd Gurley for 2 reasons. 1,
so the top 3 running backs is Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, and Todd Gurley. But you're saying that he's better than Todd Gurley. That's what you're saying. I want to make sure I'm hearing what you're saying right now.
Are you saying this because of yardage stats?
It's not even about that. Todd Gurley had the most scrimmage yards this year. He had the most scrimmage yards, so how is he better? How is Alvin Kamara better than Todd Gurley?
If you look at the game tape, and then you match them up as to who's more effective and who helps their team out the most. It's Kamara.
That would be Todd Gurley.
No, absolutely. They went through the whole playoffs without Todd Gurley. Gurley barely played in the playoffs, so they can win without him.
That's because he got hurt.
If he was still in the game, hurt.
No, he got hurt.
But they won without him. Bottom line,
he got hurt.
Bottom line, they won without him. No. 2, can you take Kamara out of the Saints lineup, and can they win without him in the playoffs? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, they can.
No.
Yeah, they can because they've done it before. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about?
When did they do
it? What are you talking about? When they played the Seahawks years ago. This ain't nothing new.
Kamara was not. I mean,
he wasn't even. He wasn't in the team at the time. But you're missing the point. The point is you making it seem like Drew Brees can't win without Alvin Kamara. No, that's not true.
The point was,
I've seen Drew Brees win without Alvin Kamara.
You just made my point.
Come on now.
You just made my point.
How did I make your point?
Because Drew Brees, you said I make it seem like Drew Brees can't win without Alvin Kamara. You're right. For all them years, Drew Brees had the team on his back. Now he has firepower. As I said, that's what makes them even more dangerous. That's what makes them Super Bowl champions.
But
that's why I believe that if there was no bad call, if that call was made, that we're having a different discussion now. The parade would be down Mardi Gras. I mean, it'd be a supernatural parade.
Still wouldn't. You want to know why? Because the Patriots are known for one thing: shutting down the run, and that's exactly what they did to the Super Bowl.
There's no way they shut that. If they shut down the run, they can't shut down Kamara coming out of the backfield.
Yes, they can. Why couldn't they?
And then with the backup quarterback,
why couldn't they?
With their backup,
Todd Gurley's a much better running back than Alvin Kamara could ever aspire to.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Patriots are not ready for what the Saints are bringing.
Anyway,
and everybody in the world knows that. Everybody knows that.
Please, nobody was worried about New Orleans. All I know is this: Michael Thomas wouldn't have got off the way he did. That's all I know. And not to mention the way Stephon Gilmore has played all year. And I remember my boy Cavante from the Flight Zone said it best. He was arguably the best corner in this league this season. The best corner. And you telling me that he was going to burn Michael Thomas going to burn him? Yeah, nah. Not when Brandon Cooks was having a hard time burning him. And Brandon Cooks, to me, is a dog.
But we're talking about, okay, let's say he does contain Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas is still probably going to get 80 yards that game and make some big catches. You're not just going to shut him down.
Let's go ahead and go to the next slide because we already know about the title towns. So it's clearly either going to be Boston or New York as far as title towns.
You could be in denial.
Let's go to the next one.
You could be in denial for this year, next year, and the years to come. The bottom line is this. They won a championship, yeah, but
all right, so we're going to talk about
if it was the Saints, would they have won? No.
Nah, they would have won.
No.
Patriots win for the 6th time.
5.5.
Okay. No, 6.
5.5.
Stop hating. For the 6th time in their franchise history. And so the thing is, I've been saying this, what's next for New England? Well, I mean, they got 6 rings. They are 6-5. They are 6-5 in the Super Bowl as a franchise. Okay, that's what people don't know that stat line. They are 6-5 in the Super Bowl. They won 6 with Tom Brady, but they lost 3 with Tom Brady, lost 2 with other quarterbacks because they lost 1 with Drew Bledsoe when they played the 96 Packers. Yeah, you forgot about that Super Bowl, didn't you? I didn't forget. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. That was when we had Chris Slade, Ben Coates, Ty Law. That was when the law firm just got there.
I don't remember Drew Bledsoe actually being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he was in that Super Bowl.
Who was the coach?
I don't believe it was. I think it was Bill Parcells. It was the tuner.
It had to be.
Yeah, it was the tuner. And they got to the Super Bowl, and the only reason why, I remember this like it was yesterday because the score was 35-21, because Curtis Martin, he didn't really do nothing for us, really. He didn't. And then not to mention, Ben Coates had a big game, but the problem was Drew Bledsoe threw 2 touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks against that Green Bay defense. And Brett Favre goes on to get his first ring, and then he goes back to back and plays the Denver Broncos. The next year, the Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl. Mm. That's why I can never forget that. And then of course the '85 Bears, everybody remembers that. There's no way. That's a huge mark on Patriots history that, they'll never be able to lift off because that '85 Bears team was so darn good. And they were 15-1 going into that Super Bowl, the Bears. The Patriots were 11-5. So that's why it's like at the end of the day, the Patriots as a franchise, They they won 6. Won 6 rings. I mean, they're tied with Pittsburgh now. Now the question is, could the Patriots go back and do it again? Well, obviously, it's very possible. It's very possible because nobody thought they could do it this year. You said it all year that they couldn't do it. Your thoughts?
My thoughts?
Yeah, your thoughts. Because I already know you're going to say they ain't going to do it.
If the Patriots can go back and do it again, you're saying that they are actually the favorite to do it again. You want them to do it again. They will do it again. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. They can do it again. Why can't they? Is the question.
Unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable.
But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to squeeze a lemon until all the juice is gone out of it. Squeeze that lemon.
But you said it all year they wasn't going to win the Super Bowl.
I think the juice is gone, man.
But you didn't answer my question. You said it all season long. They was not going to make it. Did you not say that?
I did say that. I thought this would be the year that they would probably be 10-6 or something like that. Yeah, but they did it. I mean, I give credit to that organization. They have great coaching, excellent coaching. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing bad that you can really say about it.
I mean, 4,300 yards and 29 touchdown passes for the old guy that you was talking about.
Are you seriously going to put that? How many touchdown passes?
29.
And you're sitting here saying that with confidence and pride.
Yep.
How many did Mahomes have?
He had 50.
And you gonna sit here and talk about 29?
Because
look. Let's let Tom Brady stay in his lane.
But here's the thing.
Let him stay in his lane.
The difference
let
between
him stay. He's not the best quarterback in the league.
He's not the best quarterback in the league.
He's not. He may be the greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time.
So you're saying that Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady? I really want you to think about. Go ahead. I'm waiting for you. I am waiting for you. Go ahead and say it. Please say it.
You know what? You're gonna force me to say that. I didn't say that.
I'm not gonna force you to say.
I didn't say that he was. There are 31 other quarterbacks in the league.
You're right.
So I mean, I'm not. And do I think Mahomes is better than Tom Brady? Yeah. I think at this point in Tom Brady's career, yeah, I think he is. Tom Brady is smarter, has seen more, but when you talk about the skill level, yeah, he's much better than Tom Brady. He has a stronger arm. The things that he does on the field is unbelievable.
Brady just loves doubters.
Unbelievable.
Brady just loves doubters.
Well, maybe he'll bring his cane to the field this year and still play quarterback.
Here's what I will say about
more shotguns
Patrick Mahomes. I agreed. I wholeheartedly agree with the fact that he should have got MVP. Not even a question. You can't get past 50 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions or 11 or something like that. No question. Although Brady's 50 touchdown season, he only threw 8 picks. I mean, he didn't throw that many picks. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're
talking about a differential of two picks. 2 or 3 picks.
It don't matter.
And we're talking about what year was
2 or 3 turns.
But we're talking about what Tom Brady's 5th year in the league, 6th year in the league when he threw the 50 touchdowns. We're not talking about his 2nd year.
It don't matter.
It does matter because Mahomes is only second year.
Well, actually, the 2nd and 3rd year of his NFL career, he won the Super Bowl. So I mean, his first year he won the Super Bowl. So I mean,
this is what.
That's why I'm like, you kind of.
This is what
can't say that.
So you're doing what a good motion lawyer would do. You get on a topic and then instead of arguing that fact, you go somewhere else.
No, I don't go nowhere else. You talked about the fact that Mahomes had a great year.
We're talking about 50 touchdowns compared to what you blurted out there.
And you're right. And Patrick Mahomes, what did he do? He made it to the AFC Championship and lost to the GOAT. The GOAT in his first year.
He lost to who?
The GOAT.
Did he lose? Or were they robbed? Or was it bad coaching?
No. What do you mean it was bad coaching?
That was bad coaching.
It was not bad coaching.
Andy Reid jacked it off once again.
This man.
Andy Reid jacked it off once again.
You better put some respect on
2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
You better put some respect on Andy Reid.
The 2-minute drill in the 4th quarter. Look at it. And then when you look at, I think it was like the last 16 seconds of the game. Instead of Andy trying to win the game, what did he do? He did something crazy. 11 seconds to go. He kicked the field goal. He kicked the field goal with 11 seconds to go.
I will only give you one call that I know for a fact that they probably should have never called. That roughing the passer penalty on Chris Jones. I would be the first to tell you that was clearly not roughing the passer at all. But for some strange reason, the refs saw the hand go up high. And I remember Gene Steratore said it in the game. He was like, it was only because his hand went up so high near Brady's neck why they called that roughing the passer. Me personally, I wouldn't have called that. If I was the ref, I wouldn't have called that because I'm like, that didn't look like roughing the passer to me. But the game was lost when your man D4 was all sides, was in neutral zone infraction. That's when the game was lost because they had him. They had him on that play. So that pick that Brady threw, now I'll be the first to tell you that was the end of the game. But your man D4 screwed that up. And then you know what ends up happening? Brady came back and bites you. Like he always does.
So on the scoreboard, they won.
No, on the scoreboard, they didn't win.
No. On the scoreboard, the Patriots won.
Yeah.
But when you look at the game, Kansas City outplayed them. And Kansas City outplayed them. Back to the original point, because what you did again, you played motion lawyer. You went to something else. We're talking about Andy Reid's decision with 16 seconds to go in the game. He kicks a field goal.
Okay.
It's second down.
Okay.
Second down was third down. And he kicks a field goal. Why are you not trying to win the game, Andy Reid? Why are you not going to try the end zone one last time?
Because the problem was you risk throwing a pick. So I understood why.
You risk throwing a pick anytime you throw the ball.
That's true.
We're not throwing a Hail Mary. We're running an actual play.
But the problem is you only got two guys that you could really and truthfully throw to. And that was either going to be Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill. The problem with Tyreek Hill is that at the Patriots at that point, because I remember this, they adjusted to what Tyreek Hill was doing, and then they started doubling him every time. So they kept putting Devin McCourty over the top, and they put his brother Jason underneath. So that way, if he threw it up, if it wasn't going to be batted down, it was going to be picked off. So I understand why Andy Reid did that.
So
now,
teams all year long have game plan for this Kansas City offense, which is high power. You telling me that Andy Reid does not have enough confidence or enough plays?
You act like the Chiefs were just this monstrous of a team this year. There were games this year that they should have lost, but the problem was people got stupid with them. For example, the Ravens. You want to know what real reason why the Ravens lost that game? They lost that game because they had a rookie quarterback. But had Lamar Jackson been like a second or third year guy who was just throwing darts left and right, I can almost guarantee you Lamar would have lit them up, especially with that Ravens defense. Because that Ravens defense, that was the one team that I said all year long, I did not want New England to see that team. Because that team was almost ridiculous. That defense was sick.
Again.
So you're telling me...
Again.
You're really trying to make it seem like the Chiefs was like this monsters of a team that could have beat New England. They had the chance.
How many touchdowns did Pat Mahomes throw?
What, in that game? I think
No. All year for the season.
I don't care if he threw 50.
They are that monster. I mean, I'm not making it seem like anything.
He was that monster. That's what it was. He was that monster.
He's
because
pretty good.
because when they had Alex Smith, they wasn't doing all this. But Patrick Mahomes made them better. Now, I knew he was going to be this great anyway because of the fact that I don't understand.
When they had Alex Smith, they wasn't doing all the what?
All this stuff that you see them do this year.
I believe they were.
No, they don't. No, they weren't.
I believe they were.
No, they weren't.
Alex Smith was coming off a career season, man. I mean, over 4.
Who lost to the Tennessee Titans? Are you kidding me right now?
It doesn't matter who they lost to.
Come on.
What you said was that they were not doing the stuff that they were doing with Alex Smith.
He lost to the Tennessee Titans.
Last year they wasn't doing all of the
He
things
lost to the Tennessee Titans.
But that's not the point.
No, that is the point. He lost to the Tennessee Titans.
No, but that's
Patrick
not the
Mahomes
argument.
would not lose to the Tennessee Titans.
The argument was, what were they doing this year under Mahomes that they were not doing last year with Alex Smith?
Alex Smith was.
It's not that much of a difference.
It is that much of a difference.
Not that much of a difference.
It is that much of a difference.
They had a high-power offense last year.
No, they didn't.
Alex Smith threw the ball almost 5,000 yards last year, almost 4,000 some yards.
It's 4,000 yards.
He had a superb season last year.
No, he had a cute year. That's what I like to call it.
He had a career year.
Cute year. That's what I like to call it. I call it a cute year
how many yards did Mahomes have this year?
He had 5,000.
Okay, and how much of a difference, or what difference did they? What was different besides Mahomes is younger, has a stronger arm, and is a little bit more talented than Alex?
I'll throw one name out to you, Kareem Hunt. Let me tell you why I know Patrick Mahomes is probably going to be great. I just don't think that he's better than Brady. I'll never say he's better than Brady. But I do believe he's 10 times better than Alex Smith.
You'll never say he's better than Brady.
No.
Even if he goes on to win 7 or 8 Super Bowls, you'll never say that
If he goes on to win that many, yes.
But you just said
you'll never on to win. But as of right now,
it's already in your head that you're never going to give him. You're never going to say he's the GOAT ever.
No,
matter what
I'm not saying that. I haven't seen that much of him yet. I've only seen like one full year.
See, folks, what we have here for the educated viewers.
Here we go.
We have the mind thing. I mean, if anyone knows how the mind works. This gentleman right here has already said in his mind that I will never say that. So, I mean, that's in your mind. I mean, it takes a whole lot to get that out of your head.
Well, Patrick Mahomes got to get to the Super Bowl first. So, that's all I know.
One Super Bowl?
I got to see what he does in the next couple of years. If he gets to at least 3 Super Bowls and wins all 3, then I might be like, this kid is definitely going to be coming for Brady's record. No question. But as of right now...
Coming for Brady's record.
Yeah.
But not better than Brady.
Nah.
See, it's in your head. There it is.
He's not.
There it is right there.
But he's not better than Brady.
Even in the 10 years from now, if he wins 3 Super Bowls, the next 3 Super Bowls, and then he wins 2 more before he retires, gets there about 6 or 7 times, you can never say that he's better than Tom Brady.
You got to win more rings than Brady in order for me.
I said three. The next 3 Super Bowls and 3 more, throughout his career. That's 6.
If he ties Brady, then you can make that argument.
Is he better than Tom Brady at that point?
You can make the argument. I'm not gonna say he's better than him, but I'm also not gonna I'm not gonna say he's not better than him if he wins 6 rings. If he wins 6 rings,
what if he wins 7?
That's what I'm saying. You at that point you can literally go either or. If you say that he's better than Brady, you can't go wrong with that if he wins 6 rings. But you can't also say that he's not better than Brady too. That's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't he be better than Brady if he wins 6 rings?
Again, because in my opinion, first off,
he's more talented than Brady, more athletic.
No, he's not.
He
is more athletic. I'll give him
more
that.
Exciting, and he does not have. And he does not have the coaching that Brady has. So why wouldn't he be more better than Brady?
Okay, so that right there is a crock of crap. No, Andy Reid is one of the best offensive minds.
Andy Reid cannot win the big game. He's never won a big game. He can't win a big game. We see why.
Okay,
and now
I'm about to nail you because I'm tired of hearing this argument.
We see why he can't win a big game.
Nail you.
This decision making.
I've been hearing this argument all year, not even all year. The entire time of Brady's career is like, if Aaron Rodgers was playing with the Patriots, Aaron Rodgers would have won 6 rings. No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have won 6 rings. In fact,
he won 7 or 8.
No, he wouldn't have. Under Bill Belichick, no, he would not have. Because you want to know why? Because Belichick wouldn't deal with that attitude. He'd have to go.
First of all, Brady was about to be out of New England a couple of years ago.
When?
What's the
You talking about Garoppolo?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
He was about to step in. Brady was about to be forced into retirement or gone somewhere, but the owner, Mr. Ketchup Man.
Oh, Mr. Kraft.
Mr. Cheese Man. Said,
well, he actually doesn't own Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. He actually owns a shipping company. But continue. I'm listening.
He's still a cheese man. Either way you look at it, he got that bread and he got the name. But he stepped in and he basically told the coaching staff, look, this man is going to retire a New England Patriot. And we're gonna ride him out until that day comes. Otherwise, he'd have been gone.
Let's go on to the next slide, so because
now let's call up New England. Get your resources. Let's make a phone call up there and see what and get.
We on to the next one.
Get the story behind this.
On to the next. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna move forward now. This is just hilarious. Like,
oh come on.
Oh, you should have known.
Come on. They go to what? Football? Or you?
Nah, we can go. Let's go back. Is Brady the greatest of all time?
The greatest what? Athlete or because I know we had this conversation before.
Ooh, athlete.
I think that's what the conversation was. It's supposed to be greatest athlete.
Okay, so if I had to say the greatest of all time in football, no question. You got 6 rings.
I still don't think that doesn't make him the greatest of all time.
Okay, and on top of that, when he had to summon his greatness throughout this playoffs, he had to do that. The only time he really didn't have to really summon it was in the Super Bowl, and that's only because his defense came to play, but he made the necessary throws to win that game. When they needed clutch throws on 3rd down and 4th down, he made those throws, and they was able to complete. Aaron Rodgers could have
made those throws too.
No, Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers also got beat by Tom Brady too, 31-17 this year. But that's none of my business though. But he got beat by Tom Brady. That's all I need to know. There's nothing else to talk about.
What's the coach name? What's the New England's coach name?
Bill Belichick.
Remember that. That's the GOAT.
Here we go.
That's the GOAT.
Okay. Sure.
That's the GOAT. And you have a GOAT. And
you do know that Bill Belichick wasn't. You do know that Bill Belichick wasn't winning anything.
What is the GOAT's? What are the GOAT's babies? What are they called? You got goats.
Anyway,
that's who you're probably looking at.
You do know, but you do know though that you do know that Belichick didn't win anything before Brady got there. You do know that, right?
He made Brady.
No.
He made him.
No. It's okay. Look, D, I understand. It's okay.
How long was he there before Brady got there? 2-3 years at the most.
Nah, it was like 2 years.
2 years at the most. How long does it take to build and get the personnel in place that you want?
Well, typically
maybe 2-3 years.
Usually 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But
so his system is in place. His quarterback is ready to go. His quarterback gets hurt, but they drafted a young Tom Brady, which was a good draft pick from Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. So he was already pro.
7th round pick.
So he was already pro ready.
6th round pick actually.
Yeah. He was already pro ready, dealing with 100,000 fans every weekend. And the offense there, he was already pro ready. So, hey, come on, kid, let's get in
here.
What
do you mean he was pro ready? The dude ran a 5.2. Ran a 5.28 in the combine. The dude, when you look at his combine tape, the dude didn't look like a prototypical NFL quarterback. He did it, but the reason why the reason why Belichick even wanted him, because he saw how his will to win was phenomenal. When he was at Michigan and he played in those bowl games, first off, it was the Citrus Bowl, because I was like wondering myself, who in the heck is this dude? But next thing you know, put him in. This dude was 7th on the depth chart at Michigan. 7th. And what does he do?
He's 7th on what chart?
The depth chart at Michigan. He was 7th.
At what position?
Quarterback.
Come on, man.
He was 7th on the depth chart.
They're not even giving you that many scholarships for a quarterback to be. How are you going to have 7 quarterbacks on your roster?
You'd be surprised.
No,
it's possible. It's possible because I've seen that happen at a lot of schools.
No. If you're that far down the line, you don't get in the game. You're on special teams or you play another position. You're just the backup to the backup to the backup.
That's what he was. He was 7th on
this
the depth
kid.
chart.
No, I'm not going to downplay Tom Brady's career at Michigan. I'm not going to do that. He was a great collegiate player, and because of that, and because of the environment that he came from, he was pro ready. He had already experienced the pressure of being out there in big game situations, being at Michigan, being in the Big Ten. He had already experienced the environment of 100,000 screaming fans every week, which is more than what he's going to see in the NFL. So the pressure of stepping out there on that field as a young or rookie NFL quarterback was not as great as it would have been for the average player, 6th rounder. He was mentally he was already ready. So with the system that Belichick puts in place, all you got to do is throw a quarterback in there. Throw any good average quarterback in it, and you make them great. Coaches make players great.
Like I said,
players contribute to it with their work ethic. And I'm not going to take anything from either one of them, but I'm saying the GOAT is the coach.
You're still too wet behind the ears, and it is what it is. There's nothing I can say.
Without the coach, let's stick Jim Foxell in there. How many titles they win?
Who in the heck is that? Exactly my point.
Well, look, okay, let's stick anybody in there. Any coach. Stick Joe Gibbs in it. That's a great coach. Stick Joe Gibbs in it as a New England coach. How many championships do they win?
They can get at least one.
That's all you're going to give Joe Gibbs?
Yeah, they can get at least 1 or 2.
They probably would have got 3, 4.
Possibly.
But they would not have gotten 6. And they would not have been there 10 times, 9 or 10 times. No, absolutely not.
Possibly not. You're right. Because Joe Gibbs I don't think he's as good as Bill Belichick. Only because I've seen what Bill Belichick does in practice.
Ho.
Because in practice,
Belichick has more rings.
He does.
Doesn't mean he's better than Joe Gibbs.
Are you sure he's not better than Joe Gibbs?
How many rings Gibbs got?
What does he got?
He got 3.
3, right. Belichick has, what, 6 as a head coach, 2
Let's-
as a
let's-
defensive coordinator.
Let's just talk about New England.
Okay, let's
just
talk
talk
about
about New England because
You got
this
6.
6.
Joe Gibbs got 3.
So Joe Gibbs got 3. How many that guy got? 6.
Yeah.
Same quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Gibbs got 3 Super Bowl wins with 3 different quarterbacks.
Okay.
3 different quarterbacks.
And what's your point?
That makes that makes that 6 that evens up that 6.
No.
3
it
different
don't.
3 different quarterbacks
No, it don't.
and 3 different running backs.
No. it don't.
John Riggins 1 year. Ernest Binder, Thomas Bryant 1 year. George Rogers the next year. There has not been a system where you had the same quarterback or running backs for any of these Super Bowls. So you can't take the greatness away from Joe Gibbs just because he only has 3. Actually, he actually was there 4 times. He was there 4 times and won 3. Mm-hmm. So how can you take anything from him?
Because of the fact that the Patriots went 9 times
What-
with Bill Belichick
what I'm-
and won 6.
What I'm saying is this: the coaches are even. Both schemes are good.
The only consistent thing.
But
So you're basically saying that because see now you really about to kill your own argument.
well, Joe Gibbs probably was a bad
you're saying-
choice.
Joe Gibbs was really a bad choice
Yeah,
because I was really about to jump on
Yeah,
you
'cause
right now
I need
because
a-
you
I
do
need a
know that
coach.
Chuck Noll got 4 with the.
I'm not saying it was a bad choice because I'm saying it was a bad choice because I'm trying to stick a regular or average coach into this system right here and how many rings with Tom Brady.
And
had.
what was and what about the Cowboys head coach? What's his name? Coach I forgot his name. But anyway,
Tom
Cowboys-
Landry. Yeah,
No, not Tom Landry. The one after him.
you can, man, come on, let's be real. We're not
Got 3, right?
You're talking about Jimmy Johnson. You're talking about Jimmy Johnson.
He got 3, right?
Jimmy
He got
Johnson.
3, right? He got 3, right? Yes or no? Did he get 3? Yes or no?
How did he get the 3?
He had Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin.
And how did that come about?
It don't matter.
It came about because of Herschel Walker.
Okay, that's cute.
That one man got them all them picks. So basically, even when he left, Barry Switzer came in, and the Cowboys didn't have a hell of a drop off.
Right.
So is it the coach or was it the players? I think he had great players, man. I don't think his system was that great. He had great players. Belichick has a great system, and he got some great players. But without the coaches, Tom Brady doesn't get 6 rings, man.
So hold up. You saying he got great players? He got a great player, not great players.
He had some great players come through there. Randy Moss is a great player.
One guy who was really only there for 3 years, and we didn't win nothing with him.
Ty Lawson is a great player.
Ty Law.
Ty Law, yeah. What did I say, Lawson? Ty Law is a great player.
Ty Law is it? Yeah, you're right, and we won 3 with him. So what's your point?
Curtis Martin was a great player.
Huh?
Curtis Martin was a great player.
He wasn't even there that long. He went to the Jets like not even a year after we won the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't even there.
I can't think of his first name.
I don't think and the only other one I can think about is Lawyer Malloy. He was a good safety.
And what's the other guy that played offense and he was a wide receiver and played in the secondary for you?
Oh, you talking about Troy Brown?
Not Brown. His name was Patton.
Oh, David Patton?
He had some great players come through there.
No, he had good players. Not great, because if they were great, they would be Hall of Fame, but they're not. The only Hall of Fame guy that we just talked about is Ty Law, because he's about to go in the Hall of Fame this year.
The only Hall of Fame.
That's why I'm like,
you're mistaken. You're mistaken.
What other players on the Patriots during the entire time?
Malloy's not going to Hall of Fame?
Who? Yes, they do, because I'm sorry, last time I checked, that's all people are gonna remember. That's all people are gonna remember.
Randy Moss is not a Hall of Famer?
He is a Hall of Famer, but he's not a Hall of Famer for the Patriots. He's a Hall of Famer for the Vikings. Let's be honest.
He didn't win anything with the Vikings.
He didn't win anything with the Patriots, so what's your point? All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one.
When you think Randy Moss, I guess that's kind of a toss-up. Some people will think Vikings, but most people are going to think Patriots.
Yeah. All right, so Patriots players are retiring. So it's looking like D-Mac, J-Mac, and Rob is out.
Who cares about it? Honestly, who cares about them retiring? Nobody.
A lot of people do.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, they do.
They're celebrating the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because when
The
they
only play on there that has any relevance is 87. Your tight end. And we don't even care about that.
Why don't you?
Why should we?
Because
Belichick has already shown that you can any player can be replaced.
okay,
It's no big issue.
no big issue.
Stick the next person into my system and we'll still win. That's why he's the GOAT.
You actually crowded Bill Belichick. This is the first.
Love to have him here in Washington.
Oh, he ain't gonna never come here. So
He might, if he is the GOAT, and he knows he's the GOAT, then he'll take on he'll take on another challenge.
Nope.
He'll take another challenge
He
on.
is not leaving New England, and I am glad that he's not leaving New England. Moving on. 75 days until the NFL draft. We're going to move on to that next one. So, this is where it's going to be funny. So we got 75 days until the NFL draft, and we looked at the draft order, so we know the draft order now. So 1 through 32. Now, one thing I'm going to particularly love about this draft, and I told you this because I looked at Mel Kiper, I looked at Todd McShay, all these big time guys that, do these draft boards all the time. And I've been saying it from the beginning of this season. It is the year of the fat boys. The fat boys are going to run this draft. So if you need a big hog on that line, you better go get you one, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is the draft to get it. Nick Bosa is probably going to go number 1, though, because honestly, he's the best player on that board. He's the best player on that board, But I got but I like Quentin Williams. I think, and this is what I firmly believe, I think he needs to go. I think he needs to go to Baltimore. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to drop that far. But I do believe he should go to Baltimore because there's nothing wrong with adding to that nice little defense they got there.
You know what? You went with some really big names just now. Those guys are predicted to be 1 and 2.
What about Cam Robinson, my man from the offensive tackle?
What about Ole Miss guy? The old guy, Greg Little. I mean, come on now. I mean, this
I like
dominant
him.
Offensive lineman, offensive tackle, and then you got what's the other guy's name? Josh Allen, Kentucky.
He is good.
Yes, that's your number 1 pick.
He's good. But
that's your number 1 pick.
But the only thing I know they're gonna come into question is his motor. Because I've seen him at Kentucky this year. There's been some times where he takes plays off, but that's particularly when he gets chipped a lot. Because the problem is at Kentucky, and I've seen this a lot with Kentucky games this year, is that a lot of teams, they know he's there. They chip him with that running back every time, and then all of a sudden it just knocks him off. But it's like his relentless to get to the quarterback starts to come off a little bit. Whereas Quentin Williams, he don't care if he get chipped. He isn't or double team. Mm-hmm. He be like, nah, I'm gonna go get the quarterback regardless, But that would be the only question. But I do believe that he's definitely one of the top 5 guys. I think he's definitely top 5. I just don't know who's going to pick him up in the top 5 because when you look at the teams that's in the top 5 right now, most of those teams need offensive linemen, and they need offensive linemen bad because them quarterbacks is getting killed.
And when you talk about the Patriots, and I know the Patriots probably going to have the last pick in the first round.
They will, but knowing the New England, they're probably just going to trade out of that round and probably pick up some picks in the second.
I don't think so because when I look at what they have, I think the guy from there's a D-back from where is he from? Georgia. What's the Georgia D-back name? DeAndre Baker.
Baker, yes.
I think he's going to be a Patriot. I think they already got the best corner on one side.
Yeah.
I think they're so smart. They're going to say, you know what? We're going to have the best 2 corners. Mm-hmm. And the offense. I just think. I think they go cornerback or they go somewhere in the secondary.
I think they're gonna go secondary regardless throughout the first 2 rounds. I believe that because of the fact that like I said, with the McCourty brothers leaving and after them both winning the Super Bowl and they played phenomenal this whole year. I do believe they're definitely gonna go corner and safety. They have to. The only problem is, Belichick has a certain type of safety that he likes, though, and that's kind of the problem. The certain kind of safety he likes, and I remember he said this, he looks for the Ed Reed type of safeties. That's what he looks for. Unfortunately, you're not going to find no Ed Reed type safety, not in today's league, unless your name is Derwin James, because Derwin James, I think that kid is gonna be. I think he's the next Troy Polamalu. That's just me personally, but what it'll come down to is this:
Pay some bills.
it ain't gonna happen. But I do believe the Pats. can definitely draft somebody in the secondary. I just don't know if they're gonna do it in the first round. I think they might trade out, knowing them. But when I look at the rest of the NFL draft, like the Rams right now, it's very obvious what they need. They need first off, they're definitely gonna need linebackers. They need to draft another linebacker because Littleton ain't gonna be enough. I'm sorry, because in the Super Bowl, they were getting destroyed. And I'm not talking about like some guys who's like 220, 235 pounds. You need some big dudes at linebacker. Like I'm talking about 6'3", like 245, 250. And could flow sideline to sideline. Could straight up smack. I'm talking about somebody like a Luke Kuechly, like a Thomas Davis. Somebody like that who could just straight up smack every time somebody tries to touch that football. That's what I think the Rams should do. Because the Saints right now, it's very obvious what they need. They're going to need another receiver to take the pressure off of Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas can't keep doing it by himself. Because I'm sorry, that play in the Super Bowl, it shouldn't have come down to that one missed call. It shouldn't have came down to that one missed call.
But it did.
And Ted Ginn, he dropped a couple of passes that game.
I don't even know how he's still in the league.
Exactly. So if I'm them, I would draft a receiver. And there's one receiver that I honestly wanted to draft, but I know he's a freshman. And that was that boy from Clemson, John Ross. That kid is a dog. But unfortunately, he's still young. He's still got a couple of more years to go. But I do like, what is that? The receiver from Louisville. That's what I like. Good kid. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. We'll actually talk about the NFL.
You got some breaking news you need to tell them?
Oh, and last thing, folks. And I know some of you really who love us love watching the show. We are going to be changing our showtime. We will be changing our showtime. Look for updates on Facebook. Look on our IGs, on Instagram, and any of our social media. We will keep you guys updated as soon as possible of the new showtime. And I want you.
But you know what? Also, let us know what you think. Should we go prime time or should we go early morning?
Exactly.
Yeah,
prime time or early time or early morning. Please let us know, because we're trying to figure this out. Yeah. So definitely comment. Go to the Facebook viewer group, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group. Make sure you comment in there. And then also go to our YouTube page, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. Then follow the blog on Blogger, No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk. This is sportstalk.blogspot.com. Then I want you to follow us on social media. You know my social media, insane_Shane29 underground SP29. My Instagram Shays_29 and the No BS page, No BS No Holds Barred, and then Underground Sports LC.blogspot.com, and then of course on Facebook Shane After. Mr. Unregulated.
Mr. Unregulated, the number 4, the letter U. Instagram, hit me up, DM me, holler at your boy.
And if you guys want to advertise with the show, with any of you sponsors out there, definitely hit us up, undergroundsportslc@gmail.com. Give it you know where to find us. And happy Valentine's Day from the whole new BS family. All you lovebirds out there, don't know nothing I wouldn't do though. Just saying.
Be fruitful.
But in all realness, folks, if you love somebody, tell them you love them. Give them a hug. Give them a kiss. Fellas, take your girls out. Wine and dine them. Ladies.
Man, they ain't doing that.
And they probably ain't. Ladies?
I ain't doing that.
Tell your husbands you love them. Your boyfriend, whomever.
Tired of spending my money.
It is what it is. Hey, you know what's funny? Valentine's Day always makes the most money. Outside of Mother's Day.
Somebody need
Mother's Day, they really be making that money.
Somebody buy me a box of candy and throw flowers on my bed or something, treat me special.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm just saying, I wish I can get some money.
Put some soft, silky oils all on my body.
And hey, look, all I'm looking forward to right now is the chocolate covered strawberries. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, I'm looking forward to the chocolate covered
and a steak.
We keep the steak on the plate, but the chocolate covered strawberries, bring those to the bedroom, baby. Come on.
Matter of fact, she can also bring that red wine too.
Oh yeah, bring the wine too.
She gotta bring the wine. That's important.
Don't forget to hit that Fredericks of Hollywood up before you do all that. Don't be coming in there with with them old dirty holy draws on.
What he said. No BS, we are out of the building. Peace.
Sports is what we do. It's
Oh,
the
man,
fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, double headers, playoffs.